Stress is a perception. It's a perception that the demands made on you are greater than your ability to cope with them. And the resulting emotion is anxiety. Now, anxiety can disrupt your brain function. It interferes with thinking and memory and makes it harder to solve the problems that are making you stressed. So it's a double whammy of having problems that are stressing you and then being even less able to cope with them because of the anxiety. So it's important to get control of your anxiety in this difficult situation. And there's a number of very simple methods of doing this. The first one has to do with your breathing. Your breath controls the levels of noradrenaline in your brain, and noradrenaline is part of the critical fight or flight system. And when you're too stressed, there's too much noradrenaline, which interferes with the different parts of the brain resonating together in synchrony, which gives you clear thinking and clear memory. Fortunately, if you just take in a long, slow breath to the count of 5, and then out to the count of 6, this changes the noradrenaline levels in your brain via part of the brain called the locus coeruleus. And it's like taking the most precise pharmacological agent to bring you from too much noradrenaline, which is interfering with your brain function, to nearer a sweet spot level where you get optimal brain functioning. So even if it's 30 seconds in a corridor outside a busy ward, if you can just take time, every time you start a new task or a new project or a new meeting, just take 30 seconds to change your brain's chemistry via your breathing. The second thing is to avoid the dangers of burnout, because your job is never finished. There's always something else to be done. So there's never that sense of rest or satisfaction and the little reward activation in the brain that comes from that goal accomplished. There's always something else to do. So you have to create that structure in your day, create goals for yourself that are your own goals that you can say, right, okay, I've finished that chunk of my work. I'm going to reward myself. I'm going to get a sense of satisfaction that I've done X. I know there's a lot more to do. I'm not thinking about that. I'm taking a cup of tea just now. I'm going to go for a quick brisk walk. I'm going to have a chat with my friends. I'm going to watch that funny video just for 5 minutes to reward myself and give a break. That helps as an antidote to burnout. The third thing is self-affirmation. That is remembering who you are, that you are a good person, a professional, you are doing a good job, and that these values are your rock. And if someone criticizes you, if you feel you've done something wrong, or if a family is criticizing you, for instance, just reaffirm your values to yourself. That's a huge protector to the ego. Another way is by communicating, talking with your friends or colleagues or family, and not always about negative things, not talking things down all the time about how terrible things are. Getting away, communicating about other things that will help you to resist the negativity bias, which is a real problem in a lot of people who are under stress, because the brain's natural tendency is to go to unresolved conflicts, and by definition, worries are unresolved conflicts. And so there's a real challenge for the brain that if you let it wander, a wandering mind is an unhappy mind because of this tendency to go to unresolved conflicts. So you should learn to consciously divert your brain away from this negative bias, consciously think of good things in the future, good things in the past, not let your whole brain system to be biased into a negativity bias where negative memories become more high priority and more likely to come into your mind, and signs of negative worrying things in the environment grab your attention. So if you, in this very challenging time you have with all the demands made on you, if you can remember to breathe and change your noradrenaline levels in your brain, if you can remember to structure your day and give yourself rewards and not always be on with this sense of never-ending work, if you can remember to affirm your own goals and who you are and your own values, if you can talk to people and communicate and not get stuck into your own head of ruminations and worries and grief, and finally, if you can avoid the negativity bias by doing that, you will be able to cope. And finally, I just say to this will end. This will not go on indefinitely. This is a period of increased stress for everyone and some grief and challenging times. But hope is our essential fuel. It will come to an end. And if you structure your time in these ways, you will get through this.